YouTube. What's up, baby? We back in this thing again with another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and today we're going to be talking about the final episode of the book of Boba Fett. So we got episode 7 or chapter 7, however you want to say it, and it's entitled In the Name of Honor. All right? So again, this is the season finale of Boba Fett, man. So for this one, man, if you've been in this channel before, you already know how it goes. We started off with premise, 3 favorite scenes, grade, and it's on to the next one, right? So for this on Boba Fett, episode 7, we start off Boba and Fennec see the aftermath of the bomb that the Pikes had planted and at Madame Garza's club. So they're there, and they're just looking at all the destruction, and basically knowing that nobody really survived from that attack. Then we get Mando, and he tells Boba we have help coming from Cobb. You know what I'm saying? Because he's still under the impression that Cobb is going to be able to arrive, but we know differently because Cobb got a visit from Cad Bane, and so we know how that went. So, but who knows? Maybe Cobb's people will show up. So Cobb says that, but Bubba asks, Mando, is Cobb doing it for free? And he's like, yeah, he's doing it for free. Just as long as the spice trade stops. And Fennec, she's like, yo, like if the spice trade stops, then we're gonna lose out on a lot of money. A lot of the money came from the spice trade. That's how Jabba got a lot of his money. And Bubba was like, no, I agree with the Mandalorian. Like, basically this is gonna it could end up making our people suffer. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a drug. So anyways, so Boba and the team, they decide to wait for Cobb at the ruins of Madame Garza's club, because there was like this whole scene where they were like, oh well, let's go back to the HQ, like where Jabba's palace used to be at. And the modders were like, nah, let's stay here. The people need us here, so we're not leaving. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can leave, but we're not leaving. So ultimately Boba decides like, hey, we'll all stay here. You know what I'm saying? So then we see Cad Bane, and he goes to the Pikes, and he tells them he dealt with Cobb, and in that scene, we also find out that it wasn't that biker gang that killed the Tuskens. It was actually the Pikes. The Pikes did it and made it seem like, you feel me, that biker gang had did it. So they tricked Boba Fett. So the ends up being that the Pikes know where Boba's hiding at, and Cad Bane says he has an idea how to draw Boba out and his team out. So that's what he's basically gonna do. And then after that, we skip to the scene and we see X-Wing comes to Pele's place, or Pele's place, whatever one, however you pronounce it. And you're thinking that it's either like an officer, or it's Luke and Grogu. But inside of the inside of the X-Wing, when Pele goes up to the X-Wing and the cockpit opens, you see that it's only Grogu, and R2-D2's in the back. So R2-D2 basically brought Grogu there. And he's wearing the armor that the Mando had got made for him from the armorer. So now we know specifically and precisely the answer to Luke's question when he asked Grogu, do you want to stay here and be a Jedi, or do you want to go with Mando and be a Mandalorian? Obviously, he's going to learn the ways of the Mandalorian. I still hope, though, that maybe he'll learn the ways of the Jedi, or remember, because, he's 50 years old. He has a lot of training. He just has to remember. I guess his memory's blocked. So if he can add that with the Mandalorian stuff, man, he's going to be unstoppable, bro. But anyways, so Fennec goes over the plan with the team to deal with the Pikes, and she's saying, like, the Modders will be here, and I forgot what the pig people's name is, like Grammorians or something like that. The Grammorians will be over there, and this and that. So we'll have an idea of what happens if something happens, if the Pikes decide to attack. You know what I'm saying? So she's going over the whole plan with the team, and Cad Bane ends up showing up, and he comes to talk to Boba. And he's trying to get Boba to, negotiate and, make this be free of war. But, of course, Boba is not going to do that. In the midst of them talking, Cad Bane tells Boba, like, if you're thinking that the people from Freetown is going to come help you, they're not. I took a visit to Cobb, and I handled him, you know what I'm saying? And the people aren't going to come help you either. So, now they know that they're screwed with that because they really needed Cobb's help. Cade also tells Bubba that if you just let the spice move through Mos Espa, then, things will be okay. We don't have to go to war. But Boba says he doesn't want to do that. He says that he'll talk to the head of the Pikes about negotiations. And Cad Bane is like, oh, you'll talk to the head of the Pikes, huh? You'll talk to the people that actually killed the Tusken Raiders, right? And so now he's finding out that he got tricked into thinking that biker gang killed them Tusken Raiders, but it was actually the Pikes. So now he's pissed off, and Cad Bane is like, yo, let's just handle this now. You feel me? Like, let's just have a shootout. You got your people, I got my people. Let's do it right now. And Fennec tells Boba, like, no, just chill out. We gotta wait. We gotta regroup. We gotta figure something out. And you think that Boba's gonna lose his temper, but he ends up, being smart about it. And he's like, all right, well, you get out of here, Cad Bane. You know what I'm saying? You do your thing, and we'll meet up again, though. You know what I'm saying? So So we skip to a scene with the Modders, and they're actually getting ambushed by locals, and it's a surprise because Boba had made good terms with all the local like leaders, like, hey, let's just remain neutral when the Pikes come, and I got your back, from now on. And they agreed to it, but obviously it was a trick. So the locals start ambushing the Modders. The Modders are caught in some thick fire, and same thing happens to Chrysanthemum. He gets caught in some quick fire. The Grammorians, the pigs, they get caught in some quick fire, and the Grammorians, they end up getting killed. So that sucked, bro. There's only 2 of them, so that really did suck. So what happens is Mando and Boba, they find out that the locals are attacking people, and the reason why they find that out is because the Modders, they end up calling on the radio, letting them know. So what ends up happening is Fennec goes, and she's gonna go actually head to the Pikes headquarters, but before she gets there, she ends up arriving at before she gets there, she ends up arriving where the Modders were, where they were getting attacked, and she helps them out, and then they're free to go, back to Boba. and Mando. Then we see a scene where the Pikes actually, a lot of the Pikes, they end up coming to the to Madame Garsa's club, and Mando and Boba are like, yo, we're gonna have to go out all out. You know what I'm saying? We may end up dying together, but this is the way type stuff. Dope scene. And the Twilight, I forgot his name, but the dude that was like an underman to the governor. He's like, yo, like I have skills with negotiation, so why don't you send me out there to the Pikes and we can negotiate, and at least we don't have to die, So Bubba's like, okay. So he's like, just write down whatever you want me to say to them, and I'll say it to him. So he sends the guy out there. The guy goes out there. He's about to tell the Pikes what Boba wants, but he's finally looks at it, he's like, and he's tripping out because Boba says there will be no negotiation. Like, I don't, you guys are going to have to leave or you guys are going to get killed. And, as he's saying that, the Pikes start getting mad. But it was basically just it was a situation where they were trying to distract the Pikes with the dude, and then Boba and Mando come out in their jetpacks and they start shooting all the Pikes, and it's an all out war right there. But eventually the Pikes overrun Boba and Mando. And then the people from Freetown, they end up showing up without Cobb, but they end up showing up, and it's it was right in time because it needed help. The Modders end up showing up right in time because it needed help. Chrysanthemum ends up showing up right in time because it needed help. And so Bubba and his team kind of get the upper hand, and the Pikes fall back. Well, it seems like it. And then all of a sudden you see this scene where these robots come in, and they're big robots and they got shields, so it's gonna be trouble time. So as they're fighting the robots, they're not getting nowhere, and they're really getting hurt by these robots. You know what I'm saying? Boba tells Mando, like, look, like, none of this stuff that we're doing is working. We need some help, obviously. So he's like, can you just distract the robots and help the people out on the team, and I'll be back. And so Mando's like, yeah, go ahead, you go ahead and do your thing, and then I got the stuff covered over here. So we see Boba fly off, and we're like, who is he going to get? Because he has no more help. Like, all the help is here. And so, they continue on fighting and everything like that while he's gone. Pele, she ends up going to where Mando is at the wrong time because they're in battling and everything like that. And she finds Mando. She's like, Mando, I got a surprise for you. He's reunited with Grogu. They have a little cool scene. And then just as things are getting like crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because these robots, nothing can penetrate their shields. We hear the Rancor scream in the background. And obviously Boba's riding the Rancor. So with him doing that, they're able to destroy the robots with the Rancor, and they're able to shoot a lot of the other Pikes as well, because now they don't have to worry about the robots anymore. So the Pikes run back, they fall back, and then now Cad Bane shows up, and Boba and Cad Bane have a fight, and by the end of that fight, you find out that Cad Bane is the loser. Now I don't know if he's dead or not. It seems like he's dead, but you know how these shows are, so he may still be alive. We'll see. And I want him to still be alive because I want a spin-off show with him, or I want him to still be a bad guy, or I want to see him come to be a good guy, like whatever. That dude, Cad Bane is such a dope character just in general, but the way that they made him on the show, I have to see more of him, bro, in the live action series. He's just too dope. His voice, though, his look, man, it's just it's menacing. It's dope, bro. So what ends up happening is the Rancor gets loose and out of control, because when Cad Bane shows up, he shoots his flamethrower at the Rancor. It makes Boba fall off the Rancor, and that's why Cad Bane and Boba end up fighting. But the Rancor ends up just, hopping on some buildings and running away. But now he's running amok. You know what I'm saying? He's going crazy because he's like scared or whatever. So Mando tries to control him, but he gets thrown off. And then Grogu ends up coming and he uses the Force to, calm the Rancor down. And that's exactly what happens. And then also, because of that, like always, Grogu ends up falling asleep because he's so tired from, using the Force. Then from there we see Fennec, and she arrives at the Pikes HQ, and she kills the mayor and she kills the head of the Pikes, and now everything is good. They completely save the people of the town, and the mayor's gone as well. So everything's looking good, So Boba and Fennec and the team, they stay at Mos Espa, and they're just getting their respect from the civilians, everyday civilians there, and they're saying Boba's like, this doesn't feel right, you know what I'm saying? This should be done by someone else. But then after that scene ends, and then we jump to Grogu and Mando. So I don't know what they meant by that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's just saying like he's not used to feeling this way. I hope that they stay there and they're the leads of that place, because man, Mos Espa, they need Fennec and they need Boba in order to stay safe, man. This is a crazy place, a lot of things can go down. Plus, we're not done with those twins. Now that they hear that the Syndicate is going, they're probably going to come back and try to get, a hold of Jabba's hut and take it away from Boba Fett. But we'll have to see how that goes later on down the line, probably another season or something like that. So like I said, we go to Grogu and Mando, and they're in space. They're headed somewhere. We don't know exactly where. And Grogu's like knocking on the window or whatever in the little back part of the ship, where it's supposed to be made for robots, but ended up being just made for him. And he keeps knocking on the window. He's like, and Mando's like, stop it, no. And he keeps knocking on the window. He's like, stop it, no. And he knocks hard, like 2 or 3 times faster or whatever. And he's like, all right. Mando's like, all right, this is the last time, man. And then what ends up happening is Grogu wanted him to press the little speed button so they can go fast. He presses it, bro, and they just shoot off. And Grogu's like, ooh, like it was funny, bro. They end up going ludicrous speed for real, And then that's how everything ends, like, you know what I'm saying. But if you stay tuned and you watch the credits, we end up finding out that Cobb is actually still alive, and he is I guess Boba put him in the back of the tank so that he can heal up. Plus, whatever he can't heal, we see that the modders, the dude with the dread that does like the modding for the humans, that when they need robotic parts or whatever to be like to be alive again, he's there. So obviously we're gonna have Cobb back next season, or just in this story, or in the Mandalorian, or just Boba Fett, whatever it may be. He's gonna be back, and he may also have some mods to him. So can't wait to see how that goes, man. But yeah, that was it for this episode, man. Great episode, bro. Great season finale, man. I gotta say, 3 of my favorite scenes will be Mando and Boba taking on the Pikes. That was just beautifully done. The jetpack fighting, them landing on the ground, shooting everybody back to back, like, bro, that was just a crazy scene, man. Second scene would be Boba on the Rancor, bro. That was very dope. That was very creative, because they could have just made it to where he got in his ship and started shooting people down, but they had him ride on the Rancor, and you know what I'm saying, it just made everything better, man. So that as well. My third favorite scene would be Boba versus Cade, man. Cad Bane, man. That was a dope little fight. It was pretty brief, but it was a dope fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they got history, so it was really dope, man. But yeah, those would be 3 of my favorite scenes, man. For this episode, it has to get a 10. And I'm just gonna say, like, whether it's the Mandalorian season 1 or 2, or any of the episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, this episode 7 was the best episode out of the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian season 1 and 2. This was the best episode from the live action TV series yet. The best episode, you know what I'm saying, hands down. So hopefully, you know, people that were hating on Boba, maybe they get their respect back for him, or maybe he can get the respect back from them, because this episode was great, bro, and it had him in it. And like I said, every one of my favorite scenes, Boba was in it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely like this show, definitely like this season. I hope they get greenlit for season 2, and I hope we continue to see some of these characters in The Mandalorian season 3. Man, but what an episode, bro. What an episode. What a series. I loved it, man, from beginning to end. I loved it for sure, man. If you guys saw it, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Callie, and until next time.